Have you ever wondered why God sometimes watches as people you love hurt you? Sometimes He allows pain, not to punish you, but to show you the truth. This is the story of how one woman learned that lesson. In a quiet town called Oak Ridge, there lived a 75-year-old woman named Miss Hildegard. Her gentle smile once lit up the whole town, but loneliness filled her eyes. Her small house on Maple Street looked warm from the outside. Inside, it was often too quiet and too empty. Hildegard had lived her whole life in Oak Ridge. She was a widow for 15 years since her husband James died. They could never have children, but Hildegard learned to give her love to everyone. She treated the whole town like family, especially the children she never had. Every week, despite her aching knees, she went to the gathering place at the town square. There she arranged flowers and baked bread for the community. Children from around town knocked on her door often because Miss Hildegard always had fresh cookies and stories. 10 years ago, Adelaide came to town from the city. She was broken, freshly divorced, with no money, no family, no hope. Hildegard saw her crying at the bus stop and whispered, "You are not alone. God sent me to you." From that moment, Adelaide became Hildegard's reason for living. She took her in, shared everything, and helped her rebuild her life. Adelaide called her Mama Hilda. Every time Hildegard heard that word, her eyes filled with tears of gratitude. God had given her a daughter after all. For 10 years, they were inseparable. Adelaide came almost every day. They drank tea, talked about God and life. But hearts can deceive, and people can wear masks. One cold spring, Hildegard's body began to fail. Her knees hurt terribly. Her hands shook. Dr. Bernard said, "Hildegard, you cannot live alone anymore. You need help." When Adelaide heard, she hugged Hildegard and whispered, "Mama Hilda, I am here. You saved me back then. Now I will save you. I promise." Hildegard gave Adelaide a key to her house. Adelaide moved in and cared for her every day. But then small things began to disappear. First, the silver brooch, a gift from James on their last wedding anniversary. Hildegard searched desperately through every drawer. She asked Adelaide. Adelaide smiled and said, "You're becoming forgetful, Mama Hilda. That's what age does, don't worry." Then her mother's gold ring disappeared. That was the last thing she had from her mother. Hildegard sat on her bed and cried bitterly. "Mother," she whispered, "I'm so sorry. I lost your memory. If you've ever loved someone so deeply that you gave them everything you had, then you know what comes next in this story." One afternoon, her neighbor Mrs. Gertrude came to visit. She looked nervous and afraid. She sat beside Hildegard and hesitantly took her hand. Hildegard began with a shaking voice, "I have to tell you something, and it will hurt, but I have to tell you because I love you." "I saw Adelaide at the market yesterday," Gertrude continued, tears in her eyes. "She was wearing your silver brooch. I recognized it right away." "Hildegard, I think she's stealing from you." "No," whispered Hildegard, her voice breaking. "No, that cannot be true. Adelaide would never do that. She loves me. She calls me Mama." After Gertrude left, Hildegard sat alone in her living room. Her hands shook. Her breathing was difficult. She did not want to believe it. She could not believe it. But doubt had buried itself like a knife in her heart. That evening, when Adelaide came back, Hildegard watched her with new eyes. She saw how Adelaide's gaze wandered through the house. She saw the touch things that did not belong to her. She saw her looking in the drawers when she thought Hildegard was not watching. And Hildegard's heart began to break, piece by piece. The next morning, when Adelaide went shopping, Hildegard forced herself out of bed. With aching knees, she searched her own house, crying with each step. and what she found destroyed her completely. James's pocket watch, gone. The silver picture frames with her parents' photos, gone. The money in her drawer, gone. The gold chain from her wedding day, gone. Hildegard sank to the kitchen floor and cried like she had not cried since James died. Her whole body shook. "Why?" she sobbed. "Why, God? Have I not suffered enough? Maybe right now someone you trusted is showing you their true face, and you're hoping it's not real." Listen to what comes next in this painful moment. That evening, she waited at the kitchen table for Adelaide. When the door opened, Hildegard sat there with tears streaming down her face. "Adelaide," she whispered with a broken voice, "please tell me the truth. Did you take my things?" Adelaide's face changed instantly. The warmth disappeared. The mask fell. Her eyes became ice cold. "How dare you accuse me?" she hissed. "After everything I've done for you." "I'm not accusing you," cried Hildegard. "I'm just asking for the truth. You are an ungrateful, crazy old woman." Adelaide suddenly screamed. "I threw my life away to care for you, and this is my thanks? I am not your daughter," Adelaide roared, "and I owe you nothing." She grabbed her bag and stormed to the door. Before she left, she turned and said with an ice-cold voice, "You've had enough in your life, Hildegard. I deserve something too, and no one will believe you. They'll just think you're senile." The door slammed shut. Hildegard stood alone in the silence. Her legs gave way. She sank to the floor and cried like a child who has lost everything. Her whole body shook. She crawled to her bed and knelt down, as she had done since childhood. But no words came, only tears, only pain, only the feeling of being abandoned. "God," she whispered finally, "why did you let her hurt me so badly? I gave her everything, my heart, my trust, my love. And she treated me like trash. Why didn't you protect me?" Her prayer echoed in the empty night. The next days were the darkest in Hildegard's life. She barely ate, barely slept. She cried constantly. She did not speak to anyone. She drew the curtains and sat in the darkness. Mrs. Gertrude knocked every day. Hildegard did not answer. A week passed in agony and loneliness. Then, one early morning, Hildegard heard a gentle knock. A voice called softly, "Hildegard, it's me. I came to see you. Please let me in." Something in the voice touched her. With heavy steps, she opened the door. An old, wise man stood there, someone from the community who knew her well. His kind eyes were full of concern. He looked at her, and his eyes filled with tears. "Oh, Hildegard," he whispered and embraced her gently. In this embrace, Hildegard broke down again. She cried on his shoulder. She told him everything: the betrayal, the lies, the stolen memories, the broken love. When she finished, the old man sat quietly, holding her trembling hands. "Hildegard," he said finally, his voice gentle but firm, "I know you feel abandoned by God, but God did not abandon you. He protected you." "Protected me?" she whispered bitterly. "I was robbed, betrayed, destroyed. Where was his protection?" "He showed you Adelaide's true face," said the old man calmly. "Hildegard, you were ready to give this woman everything. You told me months ago that you were thinking about signing your house over to her when you die." Hildegard froze. It was true. God was protecting you the whole time, even when pain made you think he had abandoned you. His protection is sometimes hidden behind the truth that breaks your heart. "Imagine if you had done that," he continued. "Imagine if you had given her everything, and then when you were completely helpless, she abandoned you or treated you even worse. God showed you the truth now, when you still had the strength to bear it. That is not a curse. That is grace." Tears ran down Hildegard's face, but this time they were different. In the coming weeks, healing began slowly. Some nights she still cried. Some days the pain felt fresh. But she began to live again. She visited the gathering place often. There, Mother Rose waited for her. When Hildegard came, Rose embraced her silently. And Hildegard cried again, but this time it felt like healing. Mrs. Gertrude came with her daughter, Lucy, a young nurse. Lucy knelt before Hildegard and said, "Grandmother Hildegard, please, let me help you. Out of love, not for money." These new people came without masks. They came with real hearts. Months passed. Hildegard heard that Adelaide had left town and tried the same thing with another elderly woman. But this time, she was caught and questioned by authorities. When Hildegard heard this, she felt only deep sadness, and she prayed for Adelaide. God forgive her. She does not know what she does. On a golden autumn evening, Hildegard sat in her garden on Maple Street. The community bells rang softly in the distance. Rose and Lucy sat with her, laughing, drinking tea. Children played nearby. The world felt alive again. Hildegard closed her eyes. The pain was still there. The scar would remain. But she understood now what God had done. That night, she knelt beside her bed and prayed, "God, I thank you, not for the pain, but for the truth. You showed me who Adelaide really was before she could destroy me completely. You protected my future by shining light on the darkness. Thank you to real people like Rose and Lucy. Thank you for never truly leaving me alone." And so, she learned the most important lesson of her life. When God allows people to hurt you, He shows their true face, not to torment you, but to save you. The pain you feel today is God's way of protecting you from greater pain tomorrow. The person who betrayed you has finally dropped their mask. Your broken heart is actually God's greatest protection. Trust Him in this moment of pain. If this story touched you, share it with someone who needs it today. Subscribe to Life's Talebook for more stories of comfort, hope, and healing. Tell us in the comments, has God ever shown you the truth through pain? We'll see you in the next story.